Hi everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 14, One Little Ship. So this episode is good because it knows that it's a joke, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. In fact, you can even tell by Major Kira is basically supposed to be us as the audience, where every time she tries to talk about the premise, she just starts laughing, and Worf is getting upset, and everybody's like, why is this so funny? And even Sisko starts laughing, and she's just like, this is just ludicrous. And it is. It's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Runabout. So, who is it? It's Dax, Chief O'Brien, Dr. Bashir are on a runabout, and they're supposed to kind of go through an anomaly. And by doing so, they end up shrinking to about this big. The ship is. They're actually about that big. And see, just talking about it, it's a joke episode, but it does itself really well. And while they're shrunk, the Defiant has a hold of them with like a tractor beam, but then a Jem'Hadar vessel attacks and they drop them basically. And so now the Jem'Hadar are trying to repair the Defiant so that way they can take it home. Meantime, the Dax, O'Brien, and Bashir are shrunk on a runabout trying to figure out a way to do it. And so they're like going through like different Jeffries tubes, and at one point they're in like the turbo lift. And like I said, they don't take themselves seriously. They know it's a joke. And they're like, okay, you just have to bump the pad, but don't hit it too hard because you might break it. And you watch them just kind of like nose into like the elevator button, pushing the button basically. And so during the meantime, we start to realize that now that some of the Dominion is trapped on Cardassia, they have started making new Jem'Hadar soldiers who are now like the Alphys. So there's the Alphas and there's the Gammas, and the Alphas have been more genetically engineered to combat people from our quadrant of the galaxy. And so you can kind of see where they're not quite getting along. To me, I kind of wanted a big, like, makeup difference. I think there is a little slight difference, but I wanted something major. Like, you can tell that they're clearly from a different realm. But whatever. And so, throughout the course of the episode, we finally get to the end where we defeat the Jem'Hadar. It's kind of a fun scene where you watch, like, this little tiny runabout, and it's going around shooting the Jem'Hadar and trying to maneuver around them. And then there's the obligated scene where it, like, flies right in front of Worf's face. And Sisko's like, I think your wife's here. And you can see a little tiny Dax, like, waving at him from the cockpit window. Like I said, overall, I thought it was a good episode because it knew that it was a joke. If it had tried to take itself more seriously, it could have just fallen apart. If anything, I think they could have amped up the cheese factor a little bit, made it even funnier. But it is good for what it's worth. So, for those who have seen this one, did you think it was funny? Did you think that this episode was just awful? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Honor Among Thieves.